Illini Basketball Podcast, episode 144. Can't even find it on Facebook to share, so that's good. Jesus.
Good work.
Facebook makes everything so hard.
It is. Facebook
All right.
is silly.
I mean, it's horrific. Anyway, enough about those losers. Illinois coming off of a victory to get them to 7-4 in the Big Ten. And a victory it was. The cover of the spread and the score doesn't make much sense if you watch the game.
Yeah, beautiful backdoor cover by Illinois. In a first half that wasn't great, Griesel started off insane, and Nebraska jumps out to a 12-5 lead. Illinois takes a 1-point lead into half. Nebraska comes out and turns it over 4 or 5 times in a row, and Illinois can't take advantage. Illinois gets down 50-48. And then they allow 6 points over the next 12 minutes. So defense really turned up and closed on a 28-6 run to cover the spread. I did see that the freshmen had 15 of the last 24 points. So good for them. That big run was with Harris, Epps, Rogers, Terrence Shannon Jr., and Hawkins. So with that, we'll tell you our pogs. I went with Sincere. Thought he had really good minutes, 14 minutes, 4 for 4 from the field, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. He did have 2 turnovers, but him along with Ty Rogers and the other guys that were in at that time, they just locked down defensively. They were huge coming off of the bench for Illinois. Underwood was asked about, bringing Sincere in. And that's when Tominaga hit those back-to-back threes. And he said, Tominaga hits a couple, insert him, and what happens? Water's cut off. So
I found it interesting that Tominaga thought that he could kind of ISO himself against Ty Rogers or Sincere Harris. That was interesting. A couple of those plays late.
Yeah, and that's they both were really good. And the help defense when those guys were in seemed to be a lot better. Sincere was asked if you watched the game, you saw Brad come out with like 7 minutes left. And Sincere said, quote, "That's Coach Brad. The first half was very, very poor, and we had to step up in the second half." Underwood added to that saying, "I said everything I needed to in 30 seconds. Went to the bathroom, washed my hands." I'm glad he threw that in there.
Yep.
And decided to go out and enjoy the fans and the Orange Crush. Wasn't really in the mood to listen to my staff at the time. Looked up and saw the orange and realized how fortunate I am to be a basketball coach at Illinois.
Yeah, take that halftime nap with the Orange Crush that usually carries on to the second half where they also take a nap.
Yeah.
So that was good, yeah.
Yeah, but Sincere, coming off the bench now, he's that spark plug along with the guy you picked, Ty Rogers. Really just big spark for him.
Yeah, people should probably be talking more about the fact that I was absolutely right on the money with my Ty Rogers prediction for this game.
You were.
I said he would play. I think I said he would play like 15 minutes or 16 minutes. Played 19 minutes.
Yeah.
3 for 3 from the field. They were all various forms of layups. It was
that reverse layup was impressive.
It was a reverse layup. It was a baseline drive, bump the guy off, lay it in, and then it was a little bit of just a toss it in there, one-handed runner of sorts, but not really a runner. So same thing. Anyway, shut up. 1 for 2 from the free throw line. He made his first and then missed his second, so he's 6 for 20 on the year now from the line. Pretty good. But defensively elite. Offensive glass elite, 7 points, 7 rebounds, 6 offensive rebounds. And I also had that tweet.
It's insane.
See if I can pull up that tweet that I had from the podcast account after the game that I thought might do a little bit better than it did, but that's all right. People don't want to pay attention to the real stats. It did get 16 likes. That's good enough. 2 games against Nebraska for Ty Rogers this season, 34 minutes, 11 points, 4 for 5 from the field, 14 rebounds, 10 offensive boards in 2 games, 2 assists, 1 block, 3 steals, 0 turnovers. Pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, and I thought Terrence Shannon started on Griesel. What are we calling him?
I don't know what it is, but that is He's a top
Oh,
35.
Sam. Huh?
He's a top 35 foul hunter in the country.
Yeah, he's pretty good. And it seemed like the staff got mad at Terrence Shannon about it. Put in Ty Rogers. Ty gave up a 3, but then started shutting him down. Had a nice steal and an outlet to Sincere. And Ty was asked about it. He said, quote, "We locked down defensively. In the first half, we did a poor job of sticking to the scouting report. I think at halftime, we went in and knew what we had to do." And I'm going to talk about this a little bit. I don't know what's with the media that is just like they brought up Sincere not starting anymore. And then they brought up Ty Rogers not being a primary player. Brought up how he's, a role player and that stuff. I like I don't know why you do that to college kids, but I guess that's the angle they're going with. So Ty was asked about that. He said it's been 100% mental, knowing some games. Whoa, I'm going to play 15 plus minutes. Other games, I'm going to play 5 minutes. Staying hungry, staying aggressive, staying in the gym, and continue working. Like I said, I love that he has this attitude, but I don't know why they are pushing this so hard. He said that he played with Amani Bates in high school, so he understands the job of being a role player. And he said that it was the first time that he's had to play this low of minutes, so he's staying strong mentally. So, and then, of course, Brad was asked about Sincere not starting anymore, and Sincere was asked about it, and Sincere just said, it kind of took a toll on me mentally, and that he had to talk with the coaches and do all this stuff. And Brad was asked about it, and he said, quote, "Only you guys make a big deal about the lineup change. I'm so tired of all that crap. You guys think that crap matters. It doesn't. Winning matters." So we had a lot of conversations with him. He's fine. He's playing the same amount of minutes. Not true, because he didn't play much the last 2 games, but I'm about ready to make another one. The way we are starting game stinks. You have to find the right combination, the right energy, the right flow. You guys make it out way too much. Gosh darn, it's not that big of a deal. So,
Well, the first 2 games that he didn't start, he played 7 minutes and 9 minutes. So,
yeah.
And he played 14 in this game. And I think a big part of that was probably the fact that Illinois literally has 2 players that come off the bench because one of them doesn't even count. He's so bad.
That's true.
So you got to
That's
think
true.
about that.
Yeah. But it was, I don't know what they're freshmen. So I don't understand why guys are making such a big deal of you're just a role player and you're not starting anymore. Like, let it go. Underwood said of these 2 guys, he said, "In a night when we weren't our sharpest, they were, and it's nice to see that." We got some guys here. Jay, what's going on? He said, "When was the last time this team played 2 good halves in one game?" 2005.
That's always a question that I like to think about and look through. I would say, what about the Ohio State game?
Yeah.
They were up 34-26 at the half, and won by 9 instead of 8. Haha, and it would have been 12. Would have been 12.
Yeah. Jeremy, what's going on? Steve, what's up? Jeremy says, "You don't quite have the jump shot with Ty Rogers. Reminds me a little bit of Jeremy in Richmond."
No.
Let's not be like Jeremy
Richmond.
Richmond.
That guy.
But yeah, Ty, I mean, Underwood wants him to shoot more, so he's letting RJ shoot all he wants. So let Ty throw up some threes.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, Ty Rogers, how about this? He was the Ken Pom MVP in this game.
Yeah.
How about that? They'll probably never do that again. Maybe the lowest amount of points by someone that's ever been a Ken Pom MVP. 7 points. Usually it's a guy that's dropping at least 12.
Yeah.
But the offensive rebound's obviously a big
6
deal.
offensive rebounds is amazing.
No turnovers, couple steals. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of different Ken Palm MVPs for Illinois. I think 3 different ones in the last 3 games. I think it was Shannon against Ohio State, Meyer against Wisconsin, and then Rogers against Nebraska, which only means that against Iowa, I think Jaden Epps might have 35. I mean, I just, maybe he does. We don't
I
know.
hope so.
Or Coleman Hawkins is triple-double.
I think we're going to need it. Zach says ugly win, but a win is a win, and that's all that really matters. I'd say ugly first, like 28 minutes, because the last 12 minutes were pretty good, and they only held Nebraska only scored 19 points in the second half.
6 points in the last 10 minutes for Nebraska. They took a 50-48 lead, and then it got outscored 24-6. So after Tominaga was doing his theatrics across the middle of the court, I'm sure Brad looked out and he's like, guys, are you seriously going to let that happen?
Yeah. Back-to-back games where Illinois has held a team to under 20.5 too. So that's saying something, I'd say. Coleman Hawkins, 36 minutes, 2 for 6, 0 for 3 from 3. Perfect from the line, 6 of 6. 10 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, 3 turnovers. He had a couple nice passes, a no look to Meyer, the little dump off that you imitated 42 times on the watch party. He did have one aggressive take to the basket where he did a nice up and under against Walker. And that's all I got to say about Coleman Hawkins. All right.
He's fine. He's fine.
He's doing fine. Yeah. I thought
6 for 6 from the line.
He was great this game. Thought his defense was good.
6 for 6 from the line, huh?
Yeah, perfect from the line.
Battling a wrist injury. Did have the wrist tape on the right wrist.
That's true. That's true. Underwood mentioned his wrist injury. He said that he needs to keep shooting more threes. So,
assuming he'll draw the Chris Murray assignment on Saturday. So,
yeah, hold him to under 20. Hopefully.
Yeah.
What's Chris Murray averaging? 23 again.
He hasn't been scoring very much lately.
Well, that's good. That's because they got Samford knocking down 47 threes again.
Yeah, that'll be a problem.
So, Terrence Shannon Jr., 32 minutes, 5 of 13, 2 of 8 from 3, 4 of 6 from the line, 13 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, 3 turnovers. I love seeing the 5 assists, 2 of 8 from 3, not great. Illinois was awful from 3, I would say. 5 of 29. They're up in that 30-point range. But that's kind of what Nebraska gives you. They give you threes. So
you also got to think that hopefully they got the missed threes out of the way before Saturday.
Yeah. I mean, that's if Illinois starts making these, if they start shooting at 30-some%, they win this game by 30.
Illinois is 11 for 59 in the last 2 games from 3.
Yeah. I think the biggest problem with Terrence Shannon was he pulled up from the logo first time down.
You know what? Let's just
pulled it up and he knocks it down. So I think he's just going to start shooting after that. I did like
17 for 87 last 3 games from 3.
Ugh, that's brutal. I did like how Brad ran that play, that oop play for him. Coleman got it to him. Of course, it wasn't an alley-oop. He had to bring it down, gather. What did you think of TJ's defense this game? I put that it was his worst defensive performance. I know he had 3 steals, but he got eaten up by Greisel.
Yeah, he had his number in the first game a little bit. Shannon did defensively, but I always thought that, especially watching both games, I think pretty evident that Ty Rodgers is a better defender against somebody like that than Shannon has been. But I think that they're both the same height. I think Rodgers is a little bit more tenacious in the defensive end.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like just saying the bold statement of this is his worst. I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's been a couple that you could probably throw in the mix. You got to go back and watch the film, as Brad would say.
Well, you do that.
Or any coach would say.
Get back to us and let us know.
Yep, certainly we'll do so.
Jaden Epps, 30 minutes, 4 of 10 from the field. He was 0 for 4 from 3, so that hurts you when your best three-point shooter isn't even making
second best, yeah.
Well, best. 4 of 6 from the free throw line, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 turnovers. He did struggle offensively. I thought he was pretty good defensively. Sometimes he lets guys get cuts. I think Tominaga got a few easy baskets off cuts. But, when Illinois was reeling in the beginning of the second half, He had a couple of those nice Epps plays where he, finds an angle, banks it in, nice little kiss off the glass. And I talked about it last game about how I want him with the ball under 10 seconds on the shot clock. And somebody listens to us because they asked the question about getting him in the ball late in the shot clock. And Brad said he's elite at it. He has done that all year. There has not been hardly anybody that can keep that young man out of the paint. We all know he can finish and he can score in there when he starts making that one, which he was talking about passing, like spraying it out. He's one of the best freshman guards in the country, and offensively, he lives in the paint. I couldn't be more confident in him in that situation. So
maybe Brad knew what he was doing when he had Jaden Epps playing late in Vegas over Sky Clark.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some people are asking because he wasn't very good against Virginia down the stretch, but
yeah,
against UCLA, he was fine.
He was also in his 5th game as a freshman playing against a top 10 team. So
certainly.
That's fair. Matthew Meyer, I'm surprised he wasn't your player of the game. He was the leading scorer with 16 points, 29 minutes, 4 of 14, 3 of 11 from 3. Are you saying he's our best 3-point shooter?
Absolutely he is.
5 of 6 from the line, 6 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 turnovers. He had a couple nice offensive rebounds. You can tell that he's really putting an emphasis on attacking the glass when the ball goes up. He had that really, really nice play where he was top of the key, ended up getting a foul drawn because he went so hard at the basket. That was off of one of Hawkins' line drive threes. I assume that's because of the wrist injury, though. But Meyer is just he's the guy. He's gonna shoot whenever he wants, and we're just gonna have to live with it, right?
He had 26 points in the last game, so I'm not gonna be annoyed that he shot 11 threes again. He just made 2 less.
Okay, I just
asked. You just seem to be overreacting game to game. I mean, this guy literally was the biggest reason that they won against Wisconsin.
I'm just saying that's what we have.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, we say it every episode.
Yeah,
2 for 6 against.
Are you gonna put that turtleneck on your head so you can look like him a little bit more with the stash?
I do have a headband that is like not the one that he wears. So I think I would look more like Vanderplas, especially with the hair. Yeah, so true. It's a tough spot. But also, this is what Meyer is. I mean, I don't, there's a couple that he probably should have made that he usually makes. So if he went 5 for 11 and had 22 points, we'd be talking completely differently about him.
Right.
So, but this is.
Are you worried about some of the ones he takes though?
I think if I was worried about them, I would have said so because he has done this all year.
Okay.
Like we know he's going to do it. But I would look back at the Texas game and be like, that is what he can play like if he's not taking some of the dumb shots. He can go 100. He could shoot 100% from 3.
Right.
So against a team like Texas that you watch them defensively pretty good. So I'm just saying, watch out.
Well, I'll stop talking about Matthew Meyer. Okay.
Well, you just say the same things every time, so it's a tough spot.
Well, if you would actually say something, I wouldn't have to say the same thing over and over.
Well, I mean, let's be real.
Dane Danger, 25 minutes, 2 for 5.
He knew I was going to make a good point there, but it's all right.
4 points, 5 rebounds, 1 block, 0 turnovers. 25 minutes.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
He's another guy that had a couple that he would have normally made.
Yeah, I mean 2 of 5, and I would say it was his most inefficient game of the year.
I don't think Illinois beats anybody other than Nebraska or Minnesota with the way they played. I got to be honest.
Even with how good they were the last 12 minutes of the game?
They were that good because Nebraska's terrible and turned the ball over 400 times. Nebraska turned the ball over 19 times in this game, including like 8 in the first 10 minutes of the second half.
Yeah, but that's not when Illinois made their run.
Yeah, but it led to more turnovers.
Okay. All right. I felt like Illinois, of course, tried to go to him early, and he had he had one layup that I couldn't believe he missed. He did a scoop shot, which, I mean, he goes left-handed one game, scoop shot the next game. Yeah, But I mean, Illinois is going to have to continue to use him more, I think. So
It's a damn shame he's only shooting 68% from the field now. Damn it.
I know that one.
He's missed 42 shots this year. What an embarrassment.
Get better. Here you go, RJ Melendez.
All right. This is
15 minutes, 1 of 5 from the field, 0 for 3 from 3, 2 points, 1 rebound. His one make was a drive to the basket that kind of, I don't know, barely fell over the rim. It wasn't an aggressive dunk like last game. You want RJ to keep shooting?
I think we've all seen enough of that, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll come out against Iowa and go like 3 for 6 somehow. So I don't know. The biggest problem is probably the fact that he's open every time and it's still not close. And as I said in the watch party a number of times, his closest attempt to making one was one that hit off the top right of the backboard top right of the glass, and just slid down and almost went in. Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see Brad maybe say, you know.
I mean, the lack of what RJ is giving you offensively, do you expect to see more Ty Rodgers minutes over him? I mean, Ty played 4 more minutes than him.
Yeah.
At least Ty is a strong body that's going to attack the boards. That's the other thing. 1 rebound for RJ. Underwood did make it a point to say RJ had 2 really big charges in the middle of his rant about something. So
yeah, the best part of his game is probably that at this point.
Yeah, he is very good at taking charges.
31 minutes against Ohio State, 26 minutes against Wisconsin, 15 against Nebraska, 0 for 10 from 3 in those 3 games. Yeah. And overall, he was 1 for 5 from the field in this game, or 1 for 5. 1 for 6 in the last game and 1 for 6 in the game before. Yeah. So that, folks, if you do the quick math on that, he is 3. I'm doing quick math. Hang on. 3, 5, 6, 11, 17. 3 for 17 last 3 games in the field.
Yeah.
And 2 of those shots are pretty much dunks.
At the rim.
I don't remember the one against Ohio State, but probably might have been a mid-range jumper.
When RJ's in, I wish that Brad would run that blob to him instead of Terrence Shannon Jr. They give him a little 15-footer. I say that every time they do it, but
I did read somebody tweet something about his RJ's, like him trying to work on shooting off the dribble or moving into shots has affected his standing still in the corner catch and shoot. I don't know if there's anything to that.
Yeah.
But it says a lot, the fact that he was 9 for 15 from 3 last year, and it's a small sample size, but you don't just fall off of a cliff and go 18 for 75 this year. Yeah. Like his percentage is 24%.
Everybody says it, like even in pregame warm-ups, that he just never misses, which is crazy that when he gets in games, he's just got I don't know, the yips. It's like the shanks in golf, right?
Which I had last time I played. Not good.
Not good at all. Brad talked about changing up the lineup. Who do you not start right now?
Hawkins?
I don't think you bench Meyer. He'll freak out. It could only be Danger, right?
Yeah, and there's really no point in doing that. No. I think what you do is you have Ty Rodgers first off the bench every game.
Yeah, I think Brad was just riled up by the media guys.
Where's Luke Goody? Get him in there.
Maybe Luke will start.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who'd Luke start over?
Shannon. That would go over well.
There's no shot.
I think we've made a lot of progress since the Penn State game with the fact that Brad said they had absolutely zero leadership after the Penn State game, and now he's just sitting on the bench during halftime and letting everybody else
letting the other guys lead.
Why not?
I did see that Illinois, I didn't read the article, but they had a 3 a.m. team meeting. So
I heard about that. Yeah.
I guess they took a little note from Indiana. They're like, look what Indiana did with their team meeting. So
great.
Other notes and quotes. We talked about the terrible 3-point shooting, 5 of 29 for 17.2%. They're now shooting 31.7% from 3 on the season and 29% in Big Ten play, which is dead last.
They're the rare team that is 287th in the country in 3-point shooting, but they're still a threat.
Yeah.
They're a rare team in that regard.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like you've seen Coleman go games where he only missed one. You've seen Matthew Meyer go games where he didn't miss
Terrence
any.
Shannon 8 for 9.
Yeah, you've seen Terrence do it. So I
Epps.
mean, they could if they start falling, Illinois is going to be scary good. But I'd still rather see 20 than 30. So.
Well, I think they should also blame RJ Melendez for really tanking the percentage. I mean, Jesus.
That's true.
Oh my God. And also Sincere is not the best 3-point shooter, but you also look at the numbers and you're like,
he's still 30.
10 for 31 is not bad.
Yeah.
32%. That's about what you expect.
Yeah, I'll take that all day long. Illinois being awful from 3, they were 25 of 31 from 2. So
Coleman Hawkins is 29% from 3 now.
I mean, I think Coleman, as an elite shooter, Coleman would be 30%. So
he's 26 for 88. So that's 8 more makes than RJ, 13 more misses.
Just say it's the ones that Coleman shoots from 26 feet that
he makes. Yeah.
Illinois with 13 turnovers. Like you said, they forced 19 though. Had 9 steals. They won the rebounding battle 36-29. I mean, not a huge win, but like we said before, 9 offensive rebounds, which is phenomenal. I mean, you'll take that every game. And Illinois has now won 7 of the last 8. And I just put against the bottom dwellers. Wisconsin, they beat twice, which is 1-6 in their last 7 games. Nebraska, they beat twice, which is 1-5 in their last 6 games. Minnesota, which is 1-7 in their last 8. Ohio State, who's 1-7 in their last 8, and Michigan State, who's 2-4 in their last 6. So Illinois,
you just got to win what's in front of you.
Yeah, you got to beat who you can beat. So
win the next 3 games. This changes things a little bit.
I'm not saying anything against that. I guess if Illinois, gets beat by Wisconsin twice, and they're a lot better than what they are now. So Illinois currently, I believe, is still second place in the Big Ten. So all alone.
And pretty unanimously sitting on the 5 line right now in most brackets.
Not all alone. Rutgers is 7.
Rutgers is also 7-4, but also Rutgers plays Michigan State, Indiana, Illinois next 3. So, and Rutgers is always a bit of a different team to play when it's at home for the Illini, which this is at home.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what a semi-home between Rutgers and Michigan State is. I don't know what's up with that. I guess it's at MSG. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's not actually at home.
That'll be a good game. Yeah. A lot of things going on in the Big Ten Saturday, so I guess we get to that later.
Good basketball. Underwood's post game. I got a few things here. He came out and said we were flat emotionally. They have a unique game plan in the way they play defensively, taking away post ups and rotating so hard. It's hard to get the ball in there. I thought transition was huge. This is the second game in a row where we had a half where we held a team under 20 points. A night where we weren't at our best. I don't want to discount Nebraska. I thought our defense prevailed, and that's what we have to hang our hat on. I think our guys have to understand that mental approach of not making scouting report mistakes, playing with energy. That's something we can control. Crypto, what's going on? Thanks for stopping by. Brad was asked about the 3-point shooting and if he'd let them, if they should hold back a little bit. And he said, quote, "Let me know when you figure it out. We shoot 1 million of them. I say this every day. RJ Melendez is really, really good. Is a really, really good shooter, and the ball is not going in. We will see if Luke Goody back helps. Matthew Meyer can go on huge runs. I thought he took some really hard shots tonight. We need Coleman's 3-point shooting. He is fighting a little wrist injury. We got good shooters. We have to find the right balance. To go 5 of 29 and win by 16, I'll take it." So
I was kind of cherry picking the stats a little bit. Yeah, I mean, Coleman Hawkins hasn't made more than 1 3 in a game since he went 6 for 9 against Wisconsin. So
really,
yeah, I just statted that for everybody. I was looking through it there. If you just look at since Wisconsin. 1 for 5 against Nebraska the first time, 1 for 4 against Michigan State, 1 for 2 against Minnesota, 1 for 4 against Indiana, 1 for 6 against Ohio State, 0 for 2 against Wisconsin, 0 for 3 against Nebraska in the second game. So, he had a stretch of going 8. He was 8 for 15 from 3 against Northwestern and Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And then since then, down the tubes.
Brutal. I don't know. They just got to, like, I don't know. They just got to start falling, right?
Driving kick.
Underwood did his best. I don't know who Zach Edey is impression. He said, quote, every game has its own deal. Nebraska has probably done the best job guarding big boy at Purdue. You are doubled before you catch it. They rotate on the baseline so hard, and it's very hard to get the ball in there. Basically saying we had to take threes is what he's trying to tell everybody, okay?
So we have him saying that, and then we have Kevin Willard saying that TJJ is the best player in the country. And then we have Micah Shrewsbury saying that Purdue is the best team in the country with the best player in the country with the best coach in the country after getting the shit beat out of him by Purdue last night. So Big Ten coaches, interesting comments. I'll say this. I think Willard is totally delusional for that comment. I think he knows he's delusional. I think he's just trying to ramp up his team's win over Indiana a little bit more than the media maybe would. And Underwood is just messing around with people here, I think is where we're at.
I thought it was funny. That's how he put it.
Maybe he forgot his name.
I'm sure he knows who he is. M. Bratz, what's going on? He said, did we have the standard 6 blocks against Nebraska? No, 4. 4 blocks, 2 from Meyer, 1 from Danger, 1 from Hawkins. So,
yep. That's on point. Yep.
Yeah. Underwood finished with, I think our reputation is pretty much established. You don't want to run with Illinois. You have teams that don't offensive rebound. They send 4 guys back. It gets a little harder to get transition buckets. That's been my MO the whole time I've been here. Underwood says, I don't know how to run a half-court offense, basically. So
I think the team that they're playing Saturday is a team you probably don't want to run the floor because they run the floor and make threes. They don't. They can't really run the floor and go to the rim as much without Chris Murray doing it, but a little worried about that part of it in terms of I think Illinois is obviously way, way faster, more athletic than Iowa, but Illinois also sucks at dribbling, so it makes a lot of bad passes. So
that's true. Yeah. So took care of Nebraska. It was ugly for a while, ended up covering the spread somehow, and you move on to a team that is scoring 88 points over the last 2 per game. So see how defense versus offense goes against Iowa.
Sure. I mean, Illinois can hold their own on the offensive end. Can't say the same about Iowa on the defensive end, but I digress. Illinois 16-6 or 16-6. Excuse me. 7-4 in the Big Ten. Iowa is 14-8, 6-5 in the Big Ten. Saturday, 1:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Fox. Probably Bardo again. Unfortunately, he's on quite a streak right now with these games. Iowa's offensive scoring since January 1st, they scored 79 against Penn State, 91 against Indiana, 76 against Rutgers, 93 against Michigan, 81 against Maryland, 77 against Ohio State, 61 against Michigan State, 93 against Rutgers, 86 against Northwestern. Scoring a lot of points.
They can score.
Yeah, which is pretty much how they've been for a while. You look at last year, they were the same way with the 4th overall offense in the country. The year before they were 3rd. The year before that, they were 5th. The year before that, they're 15th. So that's pretty much what they do. And it hasn't really worked in the tournament, given the fact that they lost in round 1 to Richmond last year. Round 2, they got destroyed by Oregon a couple years ago. And then in the 2019 tournament, they lost in round 2 to Tennessee. So they know how to win in the Big Ten, though. They've had some success.
Yeah, you just I think you gotta stop a couple guys and then let everybody else hurt you if that's the way it needs to be. Gotta keep Sanford off the 3-point line, and you gotta stop Rebraca and Murray. So the other guys, let them get theirs.
Certainly. Let me just do all this before the other thing.
Sure.
The Hawkeyes are 6-2 after an 8-6 start to the season. After that Eastern Illinois loss, which is talk about a resume killer. They're lucky that they've gotten some wins since then that were of importance, such as beating Indiana, winning at Rutgers, I guess Maryland, and beating Rutgers again. So Northwestern, I guess, is maybe a good win. But it was a team that gave up 92 points to Eastern Illinois. So they went 7 for 33 from 3 in that game. So if Illinois can get them to do that, then be in a good spot.
Yeah.
All right. Moving along. Illinois, 69-61 all-time against Iowa. Since the 2019-20 season, Illinois is 5-1 against them. Last season, they beat them at Iowa by 4 and at home by 2 to win the co-share regular Big Ten regular co-tournament co-regular season championship. Yep. Forgot the last one there. 82-71, they beat them in the Big Ten tournament in 2021. In that regular season, they beat them by 5. 2019-20, they beat them by 2 and lost to them by 7. Their last loss to them was 2019-20 season. So the Io's sophomore year, I guess that would be. So that's usually how I chart the seasons.
Illinois, yeah.
Yeah. So Illinois won 5 in a row against them since losing the first one in 2019.
Yeah.
All right.
Domination.
The Orange Crush thing. I guess we could do this since I think it would probably be a mistake on our part not to bring it up.
Since you don't like them anyways, I mean, have at them.
Well, I don't really know where to go with this.
Okay, if you don't know, if you're an Illinois fan, you probably know Illinois has been going on a road trip for the last 20 years to various places. They show up in usually like Iowa gear, and then they take it off, and they got 200 fans around. Iowa called somebody and asked if they were really from the Boys and Girls Club, because that's what they put down to buy the tickets, so they would get them sold to them. Iowa, well, I guess the Orange Crush came out with a statement and said Iowa's soft. And then Iowa said they were posing as the Boys and Girls Club chapter of Chicago. So we're giving it to the actual Boys and Girls Club of Cedar Rapids. Great PR spin, by the way. You got to give it to Iowa on that one. So Twitter was literally on fire last night of Iowa and Illinois fans arguing over if this is okay, if it's fraud, people were bringing up Title 18 something, charitable, sue Illinois Orange Crush. Actually insane stuff. Again, Illinois has done this. The Orange Crush have done this for 20 years. I think the biggest thing is they usually use like a fake charity, and they decided to say the Boys and Girls Club. I think that's kind of the biggest thing here. But they sold the tickets in October, and then 3 days before they canceled the tickets is a little fishy. Connor McCaffrey said something like, "Oh, we got you," which is weird. So I don't know. What are your thoughts? Do you think that it's right Iowa did this? Do you think Illinois messed up?
I'm not really one for pregame trash talk. I'd like to do it after the game, so I'm not really gonna go after Iowa for this. Okay. What I hate the most about this entire thing is Iowa like trying to take the moral high ground bullshit angle, which is just so annoying.
Yeah.
So on brand for those whites. But you guys get it. Connor McCaffrey's a snot-nosed little bitch. Loser, absolutely going to amount to nothing as a basketball player, more than me, but that doesn't matter. This isn't about me. This is about him doing his trash talk. Dude, your school and your little father, who pretends to be a basketball coach, is 1-5 against Illinois, and they still talk about Illinois like they own them or something. It's very bizarre.
Yeah.
Like, Illinois won 5 in a row against them. Iowa has gotten no further in the tournament than Illinois. They pretend to think that Luka Garza is a better basketball player than Ayo Dosunmu, which is insane. it's so stupid how they try to take this high ground. This is what these loser Midwest dweeb whites at Iowa do. That's what they do. And I don't care what anybody says. It's annoying.
And I think, it just is kind of weird the way it came about. I feel like the Orange Crush, who they do it all the time, got caught. And to kind of try to rub it in, Iowa came out with their statement about how they're not really helping the kids and blah, blah, blah. So they are trying to do the better thing, but somewhere in that they knew what they were doing. They knew who it was. The Orange Crush isn't going to call and say, give me 200 tickets. And they're going to be like, okay, bring 200 Orange Crush to our place. Should they have used the Boys and Girls Club? Probably not.
Also, McCaffrey is also
it didn't get him a discount by doing it. And that's what everybody's trying to say, is that they were impersonating the Boys and Girls Club to get a discount. That's not what they were doing it because they knew they wouldn't get tickets otherwise. So
McCaffrey is also essentially, based on his tweet, counting this as a win or something.
Yeah.
This is gamesmanship in a rivalry, and we took this round. More rounds to come. He also said, okay, fine, I'll say something. Illinois fans, admirable, Jesus, speak, attempt. I love it, but we got you. It was a really good try. What a douchebag, number one. Number two, you're lucky nobody got between you and DeMonte Williams because you still would be on the basketball court. This is gamesmanship and rivalry. We took this round. More rounds to come. I would count that as a win, too, if I'd lost 5 straight and gotten bent over a couple times by school.
And I feel like his comment is saying it didn't matter. We were stopping you guys. So
also, the most hilarious part about this is that October 22nd, I think we talked about this, Brad Underwood saying the player he would like to coach the most in the Big Ten, Connor McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I think I need Chester Frazier, Tim Anderson. Hopefully they're probably listening. Obviously, put this tweet on the dry erase board, print it out, put it up there.
Yep. So I don't know. I mean, I don't think that anybody is wrong in this situation. It sucks for the Orange Crush that paid $30 a piece to go on a bus.
They're finally pretending like they care about the team.
I mean, I know that it was $6,000, but there's 200 of them. It's $30, fellas. Like, it's not like you were all out $5,000 or something. So, but it is what it is. Good work by Iowa catching us. I mean the Orange Crush.
I'm
not affiliated with.
I'm thrilled to be staying out of this. Very thrilled.
And I saw, you got a thing that you can email Orange Crush. What was that? Orange Crush.
Yeah, GMSL.
GMSIL.
Yeah.
Do you think he meant to put Gmail? Good try.
I would assume so. Yeah.
Good try, buddy. So apparently, you got to him.
Finally,
you did your work.
These losers, God, they're so bad. So bad at being fans. It's ridiculous.
I bet the 200 that were going to Iowa were probably the best of the best, though, right?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, definitely. This will really change things. I mean, whatever. Who cares? I wouldn't have even cared at all about this if Iowa didn't try to take this moral high ground angle, which is just so ridiculous. That's such a Fran type move to me.
Yeah.
I feel like that reflected very much on what Fran is as a bird.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good luck to the Orange Crush, I guess. They've done nothing to earn their spot. If I were ranking the 363 schools for student sections, there's probably schools that don't even have them, and Illinois is 363rd. Wow. So, yeah, bunch of losers. Anyway. I mean, they've gotten so many chances.
Did you not say you were done? We're not done.
Well, you know what? I didn't like the complaint email bullshit. I thought that was a stupid stunt to pull by them.
I think you should send 24 complaints to them.
Okay, I'll just get some. I'll get some of my guys together, get some photographic evidence.
Yeah,
of
you
them
need to be
not
like
caring.
Arms crossed, 12-5,
and I'll show 5 or 6 pictures. Yeah,
I agree.
Get some of my people on that. All right. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Iowa's projected starting lineup, a good transition there. At the one, Aaron Eulis, 6'3" guard, 16 points, 17 points, 12 points in 3 games before he had 4 against Northwestern. At the 2, Tony Perkins, a glue guy, 6'4", 12 points, 1 block, 2 steals against Northwestern. At the 3, a forward, 6'6", 38% from 3, 7 for 19 in the last 4 games from 3. At the 4, Chris Murray, 6'8", 24 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 blocks, 2 steals against Rutgers on January 29th. And then center Philip Rebracha, 6'9", 20 points, 10 rebounds. I think it was 4 assists. I don't know if I put blocks or steals. I think it was 4 assists against Northwestern. Yeah.
Yes, 4 assists.
Yeah. Pretty good. So yeah, that's where we're at with them and their lineup. Eulis, Perkins, Murray, Rebracha, and somebody playing the 3. So,
they're not very deep. I mean,
nope. I think they played 8 guys against Northwestern, but it was really like
Sanford, of course, and then Patrick McCaffrey's back. He only played 9 minutes, and then Dix played 6 minutes.
Yep.
So
Ken Palm. Offense, adjusted offense, Illinois 58th, Iowa 5th. Adjusted defense, Illinois 15th, Iowa 133. Adjusted tempo, Illinois 67, Iowa 46. And overall, Illinois 22nd, Iowa 33rd. Boom.
Good stuff.
Big difference in the defense for Iowa.
Yeah, defense is awful. Offense is great. That's been Iowa for the last
5 years at least.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, they put up 86 against Northwestern, who's one of the top defenses in the Big Ten. So, yeah, and then they put 93 against the best defense.
And then they had 61 against Michigan State. So I mean,
yeah, I mean, you just got to find a way to limit the big guys. Rebracha, for not being huge, is really good around the basket. So, yeah, they held Murray to 11, Rebracha to 16. Eulis had 17 in that game, but Peyton Sandfort with 5 points against Michigan State. That's he's kind of the guy. If he scores, if he makes 4 or 5 threes, Iowa's a different team. So,
yep.
Players to watch. I'm gonna go with Dane. I'm gonna go with the bigs here. Dane Danja. Again, he's coming off. He wasn't bad in the last game against Nebraska, but he wasn't great, especially in a game where Clark was in foul trouble most of the time. So Illinois got to find a way to get him the ball. I think that down low, he could probably, on the offensive end, can have his way with Philip Rebracha. I don't know how to say.
I think it's Rebracha, but I don't know.
Okay, there's no C there. But I believe you're right.
I just the way people say it.
I believe you're right.
What do you want me to say?
And then I hope that defensively, he can take care of him. I think that we're probably going to see, Coleman move to hit Rebracha sometimes, and then what do you think? Ty Rogers comes in to guard Chris Murray. So
certainly.
But I think the battle of the bigs is a big thing. You got to limit Rebracha's numbers. Along with Murray and Sanford. So I want to see the battle of the bigs, see what happens.
Yep. I went with Jaden Epps, who I said earlier was going to have 35 probably.
Yeah, there you go.
So certainly be on the lookout for his skill sets in this matchup.
Mm-hmm.
And I went with Peyton Sandfort. Yeah, I said last season that he's another guy that's going to be a good player there, and he's emerged into that after kind of a bad start to the season.
Yeah, he was rough start. So.
Yeah, but he's figured it out, and he'll be a threat to watch on Saturday, despite him not really looking like a basketball player overall, except for the fact that he's tall.
Yeah.
But he's good, so there you go. Predictions.
I am going with an Illinois loss here. Going on the road. Don't have 200 Orange Crush in the stands. I'm going to go with Sanford hitting a 3 to send Illinois home. Illinois 83, Iowa 86. I hope that Illinois can hold them to under 80. I think they have a chance if they hold them to under 80, but I don't know.
Yeah, you're taking the easy way out. I'll get into the school of hard knocks here. I'll take Illinois 81-77 victory. Hold them under 80. They're due to not score a bunch of points.
Yeah,
I
they're
think
due to have an off night. I don't disagree with that. I know that this Illinois defense can be really good, but they can also be so bad. So whatever.
I like the way that they've defended on the road for this most of this season. I think you look at the road games, I know who it's against, but also they're good numbers. Like, I mean, Northwestern, they just let that game get away. Plus the fact Northwestern literally shot 87 free throws in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had Maryland on the road. That's a tough game. Their defense was still switching then, so can we even count that?
No.
Wisconsin, 51 points. Say what you want about Wisconsin. They got a lot of guys who can score. Minnesota, 60. I mean, that's probably more than they should give up against them. Nebraska, 50. That's another team that, we saw they could sneaky score some points. But, yeah, on the road defensively, they've been really good this year. And I know it's a huge step up to Iowa in terms of their offense, but why not? Why the hell not?
Why not? Who would have ever thunk 3 years ago or 4, whenever we started this, that I would be the hater and you would be the guy that is
Seems
all
about
positive.
Right.
So
Seems about right.
How the turntables have turned.
Yep. You also had them winning by 50 in the last game pretty much, and that wasn't really
What do you mean?
Plausible. Yep.
Sure. Okay.
Anyway, other thought for me here is that one thing I am a little bit worried about is every game that Illinois has gone into this season where it's really been like hyped up, like this is who we hate. We got to win this game. Indiana, Missouri, Illinois completely flopped. So I hope that doesn't happen in this game. But I think it's a bit of a different mentality going on the road. I think Brad has done that better than any coach in the Big Ten in the last few years, is getting guys ready to play and getting like the ability to stay in games on the road and tough it out and win. I think Illinois has done that more than anybody in the last I could just think of a few games off the top of my head other than this season. Like last year at Michigan, they took a big lead. Michigan came back. Illinois weathered, stayed alive. The year before that, without Iowa, winning at Wisconsin, winning at Ohio State. So, yeah, I think
I guess my biggest worry with this team is the runs they let other teams go on. And you can do that against Nebraska and, other crap teams like Ohio State and stuff. I don't think you can do it against a highly efficient team like Iowa. So they have to limit that. By the way, Illinois 83, Nebraska 57 was not that far off last game. Thank you.
Reluctant. Like come on. You gotta look.
Just saying.
What did I have?
75-65. Terrible.
Much closer.
Terrible.
Much closer. Had Illinois' total off by 3. Nebraska's by 9.
Nebraska's by 13. Good try.
9, but okay. Anywho, the Illini women's team plays on TV tonight, folks.
At Michigan, on the TVs. I can cancel my Big Ten Plus.
5:30 p.m. at number 18 Michigan. And also in hilarious Big Ten fashion, you got a couple games in the Big Ten on the basketball side. Michigan at Northwestern and Wisconsin at Ohio State. Of course, they're both at the exact same time, which is classic Big Ten. You got 2 games. They're both at the same time. What a joke on that front. And then some big games in the conference on Saturday. You got Purdue at Indiana, maybe the best game of the day. It's at 3 o'clock. I thought it was a night game, but 3 o'clock on ESPN. Purdue at Indiana. You obviously have the Illinois at Iowa game. Michigan State at Rutgers. Let's see. I think that might be it for Saturday. What? Wait, did I miss one? What? Maryland at Minnesota. Whoa, watch out. And then math is extremely hard, certainly. And then Sunday, Ohio State at Michigan, Northwestern at Wisconsin, Penn State at Nebraska. Yeah.
I think Indiana has a shot.
I think they win.
Purdue. Really?
Yep. Why not? TJJ 30 and 30. Yep.
I saw some Indiana fan said, "Do not rush the court. If we win, we're better than that."
He's right.
Celebrate them all, boys. Celebrate them all.
If the Orange Crush ever rushed the court this season, I would be.
They don't let them on the court.
Well, I'm just saying if they got through, which obviously we know that these Orange Crush fans, from my perspective, don't really have the mental toughness to stick things out.
No, they're
So
soft.
they wouldn't really try hard enough to get out of the
All
court.
they want is free chicken nuggets.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. We've all seen enough, huh? Illinois, keep winning.
Keep winning.
Either way, you have almost an automatic bounce back if they lose this game. Just saying.
It's true.
Minnesota at home, and Rutgers at home is usually an easy win, but that's, you never know.
Whoa.
But that's an easy win.
Whoa.
Seriously, they literally had Geo Baker and Ron Harper Jr. healthy the last couple of years.
I thought you
Illinois
weren't
and
looking
still
ahead
smoked
this
them.
year. What are you doing?
I'm just saying
You can't just
that's
keep
a great
flip
point.
flopping like this.
I can't. That's on me. Let's go ahead and cut everything that I've said in the last minute. Illinois, focus on the task at hand Saturday at Iowa.
Right.
Win the game. Okay.
Need a dub. Put the McCaffreys in a timeout.
See you next time.